Okay, boys and girls, let's get started with Unit 4, Lesson 1 in Mxl. Read it along with me. It says evaluate 10.1 V plus 9.9 W when V equals 6 and W equals 7. So we need to evaluate this expression right here when V is 6 and W is 7. So let's rewrite it as 10.1, and then we'll use parentheses for the multiplication, and then we'll add 9.9 W, and that means times W. So now instead of V and instead of W, we're going to put the numbers that they equal. So this is going to be 10.1 times 6, that's V, plus 9.9 times 7, that's W. Now all we have to do is do this multiplication. 10.1 times 6, remember to do multiplication first because it comes first in order of operations. 10.1 times 6 is 60.6, and 9.9 times 7 is 69.3. And then when we add those numbers together, we get 129.9. Now, find out where the blanks are over here and then fill them in according to what you see on the right hand side. So 10.1 times V, which was 6, and 9.9 times 7. And then right in here, I'm going to put an arrow that goes right there. And then the answer was 129.9. That goes right there. So that's what you're going to type in. Okay, so this problem, the next problem, says write an expression that represents the height of a tree that begins at 9 feet and increases by 3 feet per year. Let y represent the number of years. Okay, so y represents the number of years, and you want it to begin at 9 feet and increase by 3 feet per year. Well, that means it's going to begin at 9 and increase by 3 per year, means times y, or times the number of years. So this is going to be 9 plus 3y. That was pretty easy, right? The next problem says evaluate the expression for the given value of the variables. 0.7 g minus 2.1 h when g is 17 and h is 3. So let's do the same thing we did last time. 0.7 times 17, that's g, minus 2.1 times h, which is 3. When we do the multiplication, 0.7 times 17 is 11.9, and 2.1 times 3 is 6.3. When we do the subtraction, we get 5.6. So that's what we're going to type into our answer for the problem right there. So this is pretty easy so far, right? Okay, we have another one. Evaluate the expression for the given value of the variable. 58 plus 3/7 times w, and w is negative a half. So let's write it down. 58 plus 3/7 times w, and w is negative 1/2. So we have to multiply the fractions first. Multiplying straight across, we get 3 times negative 1 is negative 3, and 7 times 2 is 14. If we think of 58 as 57 and 14/14, 57 plus 1, minus 3/14, that makes it easy for us. This answer is 57, and 14 minus 3 is 11 over 14. Keep in mind, boys and girls, that you can replay or pause this video as much as you like so you can keep up. And this answer goes, that's what we're going to type in for our answer. The next problem says, what expression can be used to determine the total cost of buying G pounds of granola for $4.85 per pound and S pounds of sugar for 82 cents per pound? We need to figure out the expression. So let's look carefully at the words. It says G pounds of granola for $4.85 per pound. Okay, well that would mean we're going to pay $4.85 per pound, and if we buy G pounds, then we're going to have to multiply it by that number, so it's 4.85 G. And if it's the total cost, and we're buying more stuff, that means we're going to have to add however much we pay for sugar, which is 82 cents per pound. So that's going to be 82 cents times however many pounds of sugar we buy. That would be S. So there, just look for the match over here and pick the right one. It looks like there's only one, or there's actually two answers. Can you see which ones? It's going to be this one. It's going to be this one and this one, because it doesn't matter if we switch the order of those terms, we can still add them together and they equal the same answer. Okay, so far so good. Next problem, question 7. Which expression can be used to determine the total weight of a box, total weight, that by itself weighs 0.4 kilograms and contains T trophies that weigh 2.4 kilograms each? Well, if each trophy weighs 2.4 kilograms, that means we have to multiply it by however many trophies there are. That's T. So we need the expression .4 plus, because we're going for the total weight, so it's the box plus the trophies, 2.4 times T. Now let's look and see which of the answers that's true for. It would be this one and no other one, just that one. Can you figure out why C, answer choice C, is not correct, and why answer choice D is not correct? Think about that. Okay, next question. It says the expression -330 plus 11x represents a submarine that began at a depth of 330 feet below sea level. That's why it's a negative number, -330. And ascended, that means went up, at a rate of 11 feet per minute, and minutes are in x, so it's 11 times x. What was the depth of the submarine after 9 minutes? Okay, so the expression is negative, oops, let me make that pen smaller. Here we go. We're going to have -330 plus 11 times 9, because that's how many minutes it's going to be ascending. So it's -330 plus 99, which means we're going to subtract those numbers, and that's going to be -231 feet below sea level after 9 minutes. So we're going to choose answer choice A, and we are going to write in the answer right there. Almost done. So question 9. For the expression 22 minus 22y to have a negative value, what must be true about the value of y? So in other words, we want this expression 22, take away 22 times y to equal some negative number. How is that going to be possible? Well, that means that this part of the expression, 22y, has to be bigger than 22 because we're subtracting. And if we subtract something that's bigger from something that's smaller, then the answer will be negative. For example, if we take 2 minus 3, then the answer will be -1. So if we want a negative answer, that means 22y has to be bigger than, here's what it means. It means 22 times y has to be bigger than 22. Well, how are we going to make that happen? That means y has to have a value of what? Think about it. Answer choice, did you figure it out yet? Very good. Y has to be bigger than 1, because if it's bigger than 1, then 22 times 1 or more, like 2 or 3, will be bigger than 22, and that's what we'll need. Okay, last question in the homework. Well, I mean, this is just the lesson. Says Maria bought G gallons of gasoline for $4.65 per gallon and C cans of oil for $5.15 per can. What expression can be used to determine the total amount Maria spent on gas and oil? Okay, so let's go slowly. That's going to be $4. Oops, hang on one second. That's going to be $4.65 times G, right? That's that first part. And then if it's a total amount that we're looking for, the total amount she spent, then we have to add however much she spent on oil, and that's $5.15 per can C. Okay, so let's pick the expressions on the left for which that is true. Did you find out what it is? Let's see. Well, A looks good, yeah. And what else looks good? That's the only one I see that works. Now, question B. If she bought 5.4 gallons of gas and 9 cans of oil, how much did she spend in all? So, here we go. We're going to do what we did on the very first problem. We're going to take 4.65 and multiply by the number of gallons she bought, which in this case is 5.4. So we're going to put in 5.4, multiply, and then add 5.15 times the number of cans of oil that she bought, which was 9 cans. So we're going to write that in right there, 9. Now all I have to do is multiply those numbers and add them together. So let's go slowly. Okay, so 4.65 times 5.4 is 25.11, and 5.15 times 9 is 46.35, and when we add those two numbers together, we get 71.46, and that would be your answer for part B. And that's it, boys and girls. That's how we do this lesson.